Have you ever felt that life repeats itself? You might notice similar challenges appearing in your career and your relationships. These are not just random coincidences. There is a deeper connection at play, a hidden language that connects all of our experiences. This idea is the foundation of narrative synchronicity theory. It proposes that the world follows a set of universal patterns. These patterns can be understood through the precise language of mathematics. In the same way, the patterns of growth, conflict and resolution in our lives might follow similar mathematical rules. It offers a powerful tool for navigating the complexities of modern life. By understanding the mathematical shape of our problems, we can search for solutions in unexpected places. Narrative synchronicity theory suggests that a finite set of structural patterns underpins the diversity of human experience. Our lives are composed of recurring themes that can be identified and understood. This reveals a hidden layer of order that connects everything we do. To begin, we must become pattern seekers and spot similarities across different fields. Once we identify these patterns, the next step is to translate them into the language of mathematics. This formalization allows us to analyze our experiences with a new level of clarity. Imagine formalizing your own personal growth journey into a specific equation. This is the essence of narrative synchronicity, finding systems that are structurally identical. This creates a systematic way to find wisdom directly relevant to your life. Our lives are defined by growth, a process so fundamental we often overlook its universal rhythm. This pattern of slow beginnings followed by rapid expansion is not unique. It is a mathematical signature that appears across countless domains. This is the pattern of exponential growth, a foundational concept that reveals the hidden connections weaving through our world. This same curve describes the spread of a new idea through a community, eventually leading to widespread acceptance. Think of the rising action in a compelling novel. The narrative tension escalates exponentially, pulling the audience deeper into the story until it reaches a dramatic climax. By recognizing this shared pattern, we unlock a new way of understanding our own development. When you feel stuck in the early, slow phase of a new project, you can find reassurance that this period is a necessary prelude to the rapid acceleration that follows. Life is a dance between opposing forces, a search for stability amidst chaos. This dynamic is a universal pattern. In ecosystems, predator and prey populations keep each other in check, settling into dynamic equilibrium. The same dance plays out in economics. Price is a negotiation between supply and demand, striving for balance. We see this pattern in our psychology and relationships. Consider the struggle between security and adventure. Relationships involve a balance between intimacy and independence. Formalizing this pattern brings clarity. Mathematical models can suggest interventions leading to stability. The pattern reveals the problem. Mathematics points towards solutions. One of the most profound human experiences is that of transformation, a fundamental shift in who we are. Think of the caterpillar dissolving its old form before reorganizing itself into something entirely new. A butterfly. This pattern of transformation is known in science as a phase transition. At a specific tipping point, a rapid and irreversible transformation occurs. This narrative of transformation is the hero's journey. The protagonist faces trials that break down their old self-identity and returns transformed with new wisdom. You are in the chrysalis. Sometimes the complete dissolution of the old is the only path to a more beautiful and complex future. We have seen how similar patterns appear in very different parts of our world. The curve of growth, the dance of balance, the journey of transformation. These are not just pleasing metaphors or interesting coincidences, they are clues. They point to an underlying order, a universal blueprint that connects seemingly separate fields of experience. The next crucial step in narrative synchronicity theory is to move beyond simple analogy. We must translate these qualitative observations into the precise and powerful language of mathematics. This is how we build a bridge from intuition to formal understanding, transforming a feeling of connection into a concrete and usable tool for insight. This process begins by abstracting the essential dynamics of a pattern. When we observe the push and pull in a market or a relationship, we must ask, what is the core mechanism? We strip away the specific details, the product being sold, the people in the argument, and focus on the structure itself. We are looking for the fundamental relationships between the components. How does a change in one element affect the others? Is there a feedback loop? Does the system tend towards a stable point, or does it oscillate endlessly? By asking these questions, we distill the pattern down to its mathematical essence, its logical skeleton. This act of translation is what unlocks the predictive power of the theory. A qualitative analogy can only take us so far. Saying a relationship is like a dance is poetic, but it doesn't tell you what specific steps to take. However, if you model that relationship as a system of coupled differential equations, you can begin to analyze its behavior with incredible precision. You can identify the parameters that lead to stability or instability. You can simulate what might happen if you change your approach. The mathematics does not remove the humanity. It provides a map of the emotional landscape, revealing pathways that were previously invisible to the naked eye. Think of it as learning the grammar of reality. Every language has rules that govern how words are combined to create meaning. Mathematics is the language that describes the rules of structure and change in the universe. By learning to express the patterns of our lives in this language, we gain a deeper understanding of their meaning and direction. We are no longer just passive observers of our life story. We become co-authors, able to read the underlying script and make more conscious and informed choices about how the next chapter will unfold. This is the transition from seeing the pattern to using the pattern. We can begin to build a formal mathematical model, a simplified representation of reality that captures its most important features. Just as a map guides us, a mathematical model is a powerful tool to understand and experience. For example, personal transformation can be modeled using dynamical systems theory, with variables representing your satisfaction, skills, or beliefs. A difficult decision can be modeled as an optimization problem where good outcomes are low valleys. There is not just one correct way to model an experience. The goal is to build useful tools for thought that illuminate the dynamics at play. The true magic of narrative synchronicity theory happens when we compare mathematical models to one another. This framework becomes a universal translator for human knowledge. Once expressed mathematically, experiences can be laid side by side for direct comparison, moving beyond vague feelings into precise structural equivalence. This allows us to find deep connections between wildly different domains. Strategies from other systems can be translated to your context. This transforms human culture into a searchable database of solutions. Synchronicity becomes the deliberate discovery of resonance between systems, revealing a hidden unity that binds all of existence together. The journey into narrative synchronicity theory now turns inward. The next step is to apply this lens to ourselves. See your life not as random events, but as a dynamic system. Formalize your personal experience, write the equation that describes your reality. Become a scientist of your own experience. Consider a challenge you are facing. Map its behavior. Gather data points on your internal weather system. This observation is the raw material from which your personal mathematical model will be built. This changes your relationship with your problems entirely. A problem that is modeled can be engaged with strategically. You are an engineer of your own psyche. See yourself clearly within the equation. Crafting a mathematical model of your situation provides a key. This unlocks a vast library of knowledge in a new way, enabling a synchronistic search. Instead of keywords, search for deep structural resonance across human experience. For example, model your team's communication breakdown as a system with poor information flow. Search for this exact structure. This might lead you to military blunders caused by poor communication, or a novel where a family is torn apart by escalating misinterpretations, sharing the same mathematical backbone. You are actively engineering synchronicity, creating conditions for relevant insights. The solutions are highly specific and applicable to your life. The synchronistic search shatters disciplinary boundaries, connecting you to a universe of wisdom. Finding a matching pattern in another domain is just the start. What matters is how you adapt that insight to your own life. This is the adaptive extension of narrative synchronicity theory. Imagine your personal struggle mirrors a scientific principle, say being stuck in a local energy minimum. Physics tells us to add energy or change conditions to escape that trap. In life, this could mean shaking up your routine, seeking new experiences, or taking bold action. The real art is translating these abstract solutions into practical steps, maybe a sabbatical, a new hobby, or meeting new people. Sometimes you'll find echoes of your problem in multiple domains: a film's emotional courage, an economic model's risk diversification. The breakthrough comes when you synthesize these ideas. Take a courageous risk, but do it in a measured, diversified way. This ongoing dialogue refines your understanding and your approach, creating a feedback loop of learning and adaptation. You're not just solving a problem, you're building a lifelong skill for pattern recognition and creative problem solving. Ultimately, you learn to see the world as a web of patterns, using its universal language to navigate your unique journey. Narrative synchronicity theory is a universal translator for life's challenges. Like the Rosetta Stone unlocked hieroglyphs, mathematics lets us translate personal struggles into universal patterns. Once formalized, your problem can be compared to any domain, science, art, history, revealing unexpected solutions. This breaks us out of our knowledge silos. Instead of only seeking business advice for business problems, you might find answers in thermodynamics or military history. The core issues, structure, change, interaction, are universal, faced by molecules, animals, and people alike. Your personal struggle is a specific instance of a timeless dilemma, not an isolated misfortune. This perspective is empowering. You're not alone, and your problem has been solved in countless forms before. The universal translator doesn't erase your uniqueness. It connects you to the grand patterns of existence. It shifts your mindset from isolation to connection, from failure to participation in a universal story. The solutions are out there, waiting to be translated and applied. You just need the right lens to see them. Let's see this universal translator in action with Alex, who's overwhelmed and burnt out. He models his chaos as a system at the edge of chaos, highly sensitive, easily derailed. Instead of generic advice, he looks for solutions to this structural problem and finds inspiration in thermodynamics, entropy, the tendency toward disorder. The insight? You can't eliminate chaos, but you can create islands of order by focusing your energy. Alex applies this by protecting a block of deep work each morning and keeping his workspace clear. Small, controlled zones of order. This reframes his struggle. He's not fighting chaos, but managing it intelligently. By translating a scientific principle into daily action, Alex finds a strategy that's robust and realistic. He's no longer overwhelmed by the big picture, he's empowered to create order where it matters. Science becomes self-help, tailored to his unique situation. That's the power of narrative synchronicity theory. The real magic of the universal translator is synthesis, combining insights from multiple fields for a custom solution. Life's problems are complex, with emotional, practical, and strategic layers. Alex, for example, uses thermodynamics to create order but still feels emotionally overwhelmed. He finds a parallel in narrative theory. Chaos often precedes transformation in stories. Now, he reframes his struggle as a necessary prelude to growth, not a failure. He combines practical order with a new mindset, seeing chaos as fuel for evolution. Add in game theory, and he learns to make decisions under uncertainty. The result? A multi-layered, resilient approach, not just coping, but architecting his response. This is the promise of the universal translator, drawing on all human knowledge to craft unique, effective solutions. You become the author of your own life, weaving wisdom from every domain. Narrative synchronicity theory isn't just a personal tool, it's a blueprint for a global web of knowledge. Every time someone formalizes an experience or connects a scientific principle to a story, the web grows. We're building a living library, a dynamic, searchable database of human wisdom. Each node is a pattern. Each connection is a bridge between ideas from science, art, history, and personal stories. This network maps reality's underlying architecture, constantly expanding as new insights are added. It's collaborative. Your discoveries become resources for others facing similar challenges. Technology can help. Imagine software that formalizes your experience, finds structural matches, and suggests analogies from across human culture. The result is a personal guide powered by collective wisdom, always evolving. This transforms abstract theory into a practical, accessible tool for everyone. The living library is humanity's shared map for navigating life's complexity. The true beauty of this web of knowledge lies in its capacity for emergence, a phenomenon where the whole becomes greater than the sum of its parts. As more people contribute to and draw from this interconnected library, it will benefit from a powerful network effect. Just as a social network becomes more valuable with each new user, this web of wisdom becomes exponentially more insightful with each new formalized pattern and connection. The insights generated will not be merely additive, they will be combinatorial. The system will begin to reveal non-obvious second and third order connections that no single individual could ever uncover on their own, leading to an explosion of creative problem solving. Consider the potential for discovery. As the database grows, we could run analysis on the web itself, looking for meta-patterns. We might find that certain types of personal problems, when formalized, consistently resonate with a particular branch of physics or a specific genre of literature. We could discover that the mathematical structures underlying successful conflict resolution in historical treatises are startlingly similar to those found in therapeutic models for couples counseling. These discoveries would represent entirely new fields of interdisciplinary study, born from the structural similarities revealed by the mathematical formalism of the web. It would be a new science of connection itself. This process creates a positive feedback loop of continuous refinement and expansion. As the web becomes more powerful at revealing these profound connections, it will attract more users from diverse fields. Scientists, artists, therapists, historians, and ordinary individuals will all find value in contributing their domain expertise and personal experiences. This influx of new data will in turn make the system even more powerful and its insights more nuanced. The web is not just a repository, it is an engine for generating new knowledge, a catalyst for a renaissance of integrated thinking that breaks down the artificial barriers between disciplines. Ultimately, this web of knowledge redefines our understanding of what it means to be wise. Wisdom is no longer seen as the accumulation of facts within a single mind, but as the ability to navigate this interconnected network of patterns effectively. A wise person is one who can accurately model their own situation, find the relevant structural resonances across different domains, and skillfully synthesize the insights into a coherent plan of action. This framework democratizes wisdom, transforming it from a rare personal attribute into a shared, accessible, and ever-expanding utility for the betterment of all. It is the infrastructure for a more conscious and interconnected humanity. We stand at the threshold of a new understanding. Narrative synchronicity theory offers us a vision of a world alive with meaning and connection. It reveals a hidden architecture that links our deepest personal experiences to the grandest cosmic dramas. The journey we have taken leads us to a profound conclusion. The universe is a single, immense and coherent story, and our lives are the individual, vital sentences that make up its unfolding narrative. This framework is ultimately a call to see differently. It asks us to look past the surface of things and perceive the underlying rhythms and structures that bind all of existence together. By learning to read this universal language, we find our place within this grand, interconnected story. This is the promise of narrative synchronicity theory, a philosophy that restores a sense of wonder and unity to our perception of the cosmos. We are not merely living in the universe, we are the universe experiencing and understanding itself.